The countdown has started. There are so many things coming up over the next couple of days that all on its own could change the entirety of crypto. And I don't hype you up for nothing. No, there are a couple different things happening, all of which, if you're not aware of them, you might be completely shocked the moment that they do happen and change the game. Now, this is very important for XRP holders on a couple different levels. As right now, XRP stands a trial, not even in the court, but a time trial that you guys all need to completely understand. At the same time, over in the field of crypto, exciting things always happen. And I think there are three major events that you should be watching closely if you want to make absolute crazy gains or hopefully just not lose money. Having said that, if you enjoy these daily crypto videos, make sure you press that like button and let me know down below how early you were at this video. First of all, this is critical. Gary Gensler is speaking in front of the Senate Appropriations Committee in 2 days from now, all right? In about 48 hours from now. The reason it is critical is because this is Gary Gensler's first public speech of sorts after the Ripple verdict. And so even though it might not be the place where we'd want him to speak about crypto policy, as is the Senate Appropriations Committee, I still quite so much appreciate whatever he will say. Let's reiterate that. I think Gary Gensler is doing a really bad job. I think Gary Gensler should be fired. I think Gary Gensler should get a personal investigation. And I don't think Gary Gensler is the right man for the job, depending, of course, on which job he actually has, as there is a theory going around. He's just there as a puppet controlled by the minds of BlackRock and potentially some other banking institutions out there to make sure that ETH goes through, but that, a lot of other cryptos fail. Anyway, I am quite curious what he's going to say about crypto now. What has changed from the different testimonies that he's given before the Senate in the past? Here's, for example, September of 2022. Because back then, a lot of it, what he says is lies, but I think, right? I honestly just think that a lot of that will catch up with him one day. For example, back then, he restated his belief, this is about a year ago, that most cryptocurrencies are securities. So, that still holds true. Given that philosophy, he asked the SEC staff to, and this is where things get funny, work directly with entrepreneurs to get their tokens registered and regulated where appropriate as securities. He also, all the way over there, has been reportedly criticized for the agency's unhelpful approach to crypto asset regulation and for its lack of action against industry participants because, again, they let Celsius, FTX, all those slip, but they're going after proper companies. But you guys all know that. Anyway, he probably won't be answering any questions, and so don't expect this to be a crazy revelation of sorts because Gary Gensler is a little bit of a snake man when it comes to questions, right? He just slithers right around them. But still, I would be very cautious regarding this event because it might be so that Gary Gensler just announces war on cryptocurrency again or something along those lines. Or he explains how hard they will be fighting against the Ripple case now. Or he'll be reiterating just how much he won the Ripple case. We don't know. But I am paying very close attention and I hope that you guys are too. Second of all, a deadline has come into play that I think everybody should know about because it on its own could change the entirety of crypto. I literally think this one, right? We have another couple, but this one can change the entirety of crypto the most with the implications of the event itself. Now, before I explain to you guys exactly what's happening, I am giving away $500 to some of my followers. The first 50 people that trade on BitGet, of which a link is down below, sign up and make one trade, get $10 for absolutely free on me. And these first 50 people will also be in for a little bit of a pool of potentially some other cool rewards, and I'll show more about that later. But make sure you register your place. Just follow the steps from the link down below, and let's move on. The SEC has quietly set up a 21-day public comment period on the holy grail of Bitcoin investment vehicles. And right now over on Twitter, the hype is going insane that a decision will be made before probably the end of August. And they state, with BlackRock's application now on the SEC's official calendar, it will be published in the Federal Register and trigger a 21-day public comment period. So the SEC now has to take a serious look and give some feedback within the next, it should even be July. Or well, I guess it kind of depends on exactly when the 21-day period triggered. I'm supposing it could be the 13th of July here, right? But it says 21 days for every single one of these things, which are all the NASDAQ stock market rulemaking filings. So I guess if you look through, there might be another specific date, but I think the most critical is July 13th plus 3 weeks. So it is going to be a little bit into August, unless the SEC likes to file it early. But now to move on, at the start I told you that we've got about 3 very important events. Actually, there is 4. One that's very critical, that's not specifically on crypto, but still extremely critical, is the next FOMC meeting. This meeting is coming in 9 days from now, and this is again where they decide the interest rate and whether or not they'll increase it, or whether or not it's going to be remaining stable or potentially even decrease it. You can see the current interest rate versus what they expect is going to be happening, and so they do expect another rate hike to follow. As you guys have noticed from the past, this could, of course, be very moving for the crypto market. We've seen many different times that when the interest rate numbers come out, the markets just move massively, and if you're quick with it, there's an opportunity for a massive amount of profit in a trade. And a lot of you guys were asking, Dusty, do you still have your XRP trade open? Let me actually show you. Right now, at the time of recording, it is, yeah, you guys can't see it perfectly. No. But it's a 46% profit, meaning it's still a very juicy trade as of this point. And as you guys know, I am not stopping my trade anytime soon, as I just keep buying more XRP at these points anyway. So why would I get out of my trade? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, but now the 4th and most important part of them all. And once more, guys, make sure you press that freaking like button, because who else makes these lists for you, right? Is a potential appeal. So I must explain a little bit more. Ripple won the lawsuit, but over on Twitter, if you've been a little bit active, you'd know that the amount of people saying that Ripple actually lost or that they're broke and they can't pay this back is severe. I'm talking thousands of people are saying this, which was expected. It's not something surprising, but an argument that popped up was that the SEC will most likely try to fight back, even though the SEC did not comment on it publicly. That's the expectation. And now, this article here states, XRP is on shaky ground, says an ex-SEC official. Of course, we're talking about John Reed Stark, whom I've had a couple personal discussions with, and as I've said before, we have never, me and John Reed Stark, an ex-SEC official, seen eye to eye on any issue in any discussion we've had. And if you guys have ever tuned into one of these discussions over on Twitter, during some of the Twitter spaces, it's always been kind of funny because we always like to battle our points, and usually we can't see eye to eye, like I said. Not usually, just never. Anyway, right now there are some people saying that Ripple's win is short-lived. I don't agree. Let's reiterate this. I don't think the SEC is going to appeal anytime soon, and I don't think that if they appeal, there's going to be a new verdict within years. But also, you got to understand, if they do appeal, what's going to change in terms of all the facts, right? That's my thinking. But some of the ex-SEC people and some Bitcoin people seem to think that right now it's like a ticking time bomb for Ripple, because they're going to have to pay money in terms of fines for all the damages of institutional sales, to which I'd like to state, well, who exactly lost money here? If Ripple had agreements with these OTC guys for some institutional investment, most likely all of them did really well, made a ton of money. So if Ripple had to pay a fine for all this, who would that money go to? Because let's just say it like this. Let's say I give you a deal right now to buy XRP at 1 cent. And boom, your XRP is at 75 cents right now. And then all of a sudden the SEC comes in, hey, stop, right? He sent you some of those XRPs. That was a contract. Fine. Then I'm like, well, but I just like got massive amounts of gains on this. So is the SEC then going to pay me out as damages, or are they going to be keeping that for themselves as treasury, or where does that money go exactly? I know I'm lacking for not knowing that, but it's just always been surprising to me that the SEC likes to go after the good actors. Because you might want to go ahead and state, well, but XRP is down like 70% from its all-time high. Yeah, but that's not where the majority of these institutions bought at. Probably the institutions also got some discounts, and, well, there's multiple different other cryptos that are down 99.9%, where literally nobody's in profit, and the SEC is not going after them, so it just doesn't make a lot of sense. But I'm just putting it out there that any sort of appeal, any sort of other decision, I think is also what's keeping XRP from pumping too much, as people are still afraid. Once more, I am not afraid of this. I don't think it can be bad. I don't think it will be bad. Ripple themselves and the guys that are on the right side of the law are saying that it will take years for any one decision in this nature to come on out. And so trust me when I say that I'm not worried at all. What I'm more so worried about is, like I said earlier, this BlackRock ETF, because I'm just not sure how a Bitcoin ETF is going to be breaking up the crypto market. You have to understand, the more institutional money that comes on in, the more manipulated your space gets, the more money that goes from retail now to the hands of the institutions as they have smarter money, all right? And money usually flows to the ones that have more information or more skill, something along those lines. So the moment that major institutions step on into our game, BlackRock is going into Bitcoin first, but eventually I think that could also be XRP. I wonder, is it actually going to be that bullish as many people say? Are Bitcoin ETFs, the spot ETFs, actually a nice thing? Arguably, no. Arguably, institutions ruining your pasta here is actually way worse than them joining in a good light, basically. Actually, there's one more thing I should add. I'm doing this after I recorded the entire video. I'm thinking, wait a minute, there's actually one more major event. And this is why I had to publish a video on all these deadlines, all these dates, and why the countdown has started. There's also a lot of people in the XRP community. They're saying that this is going to be huge. And as you can see on the left, FedNow goes live July 20th. The system itself is just a facilitator of transactions. It's the providers that do the work. And who are they? Finestra, Volante, ACI, FIS, Temenos, more, all RippleNet customers. Yeah, and there's a lot of speculation that this is about to be huge for Ripple/XRP. Just wanted to quickly also insert that into this video. But yeah, those are just my thoughts. I've been thinking about that for a good while. Like I said before, if you enjoyed this crypto video, make sure you press that thumbs up, because who else gives you a list like this? But most importantly, guys, this is very important. Make sure you've got that notification bell on for in case something crazy pops up, something crazy happens, and I need to do an emergency live stream. You want to be notified. You can always skip the video, right? You can always look at the title and think, probably not that important. But sometimes, like with the Ripple lawsuit settlement, right? With the end of the lawsuit, I was there within a couple of minutes to update everybody. And if you were there quick enough, you still could have gotten crazy amounts of gains within those first couple of minutes after knowing that the Ripple lawsuit was over. So yeah, that's about it. See you guys later in another one.